68 over 1450 meters. Off time is 12:35. Number one is Red Top with Daryl Daniels. Two is Zafar with Matthew Thackeray. Three Prince of Denmark, Phyllis Sandim Kohli. Four Copper Fire, Jeff Sister. Five New Galaxy, Kevin Derere. And six Forever Royal with Jared Penny. Race 3 is a graduation plate over 1600 meters. And number one is African Beat. Two, She's Everything for Amy Parham. Three, Ultra Pursuit. Ultra Pursuit, who won his last start, looks to make it 2 out of 2 this afternoon. 4 is Captain Carnage with Daryl Daniels. 5, Onono Komachi with Lewin Clapper. Race 4 is a merit-rated 77 handicap over 2,000 meters. And number 1 is September Flower with Lewin Clapper. 2, The Octagon with Philasandem Kohli. 3, King's Crown with Kevin Derere. 4, Aerial Display, Matthew Thackeray. 5, Cavani, Jeff Sister. And 6, Cosmic Event with Jared Penny. Race 5 is a superior plate over 1260 meters. Number 1 is Tom's Diner with Philasandem Kohli. 2, Power Ranger, Norbert Takawira. 3 is Ultimate Duel with Daryl Daniels. 4, Empire Blue with Kevin Derere. And 5, Out of the Darkness with Jeff Sister. Last but not least, the feature event on this afternoon's program is race 6, the Sabre Flyers, and that's over 1260 meters. And the sprint will accommodate 6 runners, with 1 My Secret Place with Lewin Clappo. 2, Hill Delita with Daryl Daniels. 3, Queen of Fire with Philasandem Kohli. 4, Ignite the Light with Matthew Thackeray. 5, Jet Green with Jared Penny. And 6, Ziwewere with Jeff Sister. So that's the lineup for this afternoon, the 21st of November 2025. The Sabre Flyers is the feature event, but first off we'll start off with the maiden plate off at 1 o'clock. And we wish you all the best in your bets. Goes up, set for a start, and away and racing in the Toff Merit-rated 60 handicap. They're on their way down the back straights with 1800 meters to race. They broke off pretty decently as well, and very quick into stride then
Testing 1 2 1 2 testing. Very good afternoon to you and a warm welcome to Borrowdale Park Racecourse. Today is the 21st of November 2025 and today sees the running of the Sabre Flyers. If you can get your race cards, we'll go through the changes for today's meeting. Starting off in race 1, horse number 2, Zimbabwe Sunset. It's now to race with blinkers on the 2, Zimbabwe Sunset. Number 6, Firefly Lane, to race with blinkers on the 6, Firefly Lane. In race 2, horse number 4, Cup of Fire, to race with earmuffs on the 4, Cup of Fire. The 5, New Galaxy, is now ridden by Lewin Klapo on the 5, New Galaxy. And the 6, Forever Royal, to race with earmuffs on the 6, Forever Royal. Race 5, horse number 4, Empire Blue, is now ridden by jockey Jared Penny on the 4, Empire Blue. The 5, Out of the Darkness, now to race with earmuffs on the 5, Out of the Darkness. And in race 6, horse number 3, Queen of Fire, to race with Steel Shoes off and Alumite on. Steel Shoes off, Alumite on the 3, Queen of Fire. Only one unraced horse, and that's in race 1, that's the 4, Battle Cat. And the general information is at 21 November, 10:41 a.m. The wind speed is at 4 miles per hour. Wind direction is east-southeasterly. Humidity is 51% and expecting visibility to be very good. No irrigation in the past 24 hours, none in the last 7 days. Rainfall in the past 24 hours is 3 mils. In the last 7 days is 37 mils, and there is a low chance of precipitation this afternoon. Average pen reading is 26. Track condition is good to soft, and the force rail is 5 meters from the 1300 meter mark to the spillway. That's the general information for this afternoon, and we move closer to the off of race 1, which is a maiden plate over 1200 meters. It's off at 1 o'clock. Runners and riders for the opening event at Borrowdale Park. That's the maiden plate of 1,200 meters. Now exiting the parade ring. They'll be coming out on parade shortly as we get underway for the first event of this meeting, the Sabre Flyers. And we begin with a maiden plate of 1,200 meters. Just the 5 runners going to post with, of course, the card scratching of the 3 Head and Heart. And runners now coming out in parade. Stand by. First out on parade is horse number 1, Winchester, the mount of Phyllis Sendem Corley for Amy Parham. Horse number 2 is Zambizi Sunset, Louis Tlapo in the orange cap. Five is Exodus Song with Daryl Daniels. 6, Firefly Lane, Jeff's Sister. Going past is the 4, Battle Cat, first timer with Norbert Takawira. That's the field for the first event, the maiden plate of 1,200 meters. Off time is 1 o'clock. 5 runners contesting the maiden plate of a 1200 meters are almost down at the starting point. Number 1 is Winchester with Phyllis sending Koli for Amy Parham. Now Winchester having his second run out in Harare. Last time out he ran in a maiden 1450, finished second, 2 lengths off Ultra Pursuit. So that was a promising outing, and I think Winchester, if building on that outing, should be in competitive form this afternoon. 2 is Zambezi Sunset, Lewin Klapo for Amy Parham. Zambezi Sunset's had 2 starts out at Borrowdale Park. First one was over 1200 in a maiden and finished second, beaten by Captain Carnage. And the second time out was in another maiden over 1450 and was beaten by Ultra Pursuit. So they've got a collateral form line with the 1 Winchester. Winchester will be ahead on that one, on that merit. Scratch the 3 Head and Heart. 4 Battle Cat is unraced. Norbert Takawira jumps in the iron for Deborah Swanson. 5 Exodus Song hasn't been having it too good of late, and finishing 4th and 5th in her last 2 starts, so she will need to dig deep this afternoon to make any impact. Daryl Daniels on board. 6 is Firefly Lane, and this Rafi Feely has had 2 starts out at Borrowdale and hasn't been very competitive. First time out finished 4th, 21 lengths of Blazing Sky, and improved markedly to race in another maiden 1200, finishing 4th again, but the lengths had improved. So Firefly Lane, if she can dig deep, might get into the minor money this afternoon. So my selections, I'm going for the 1 Winchester to beat the 2 Zambezi Sunset, from the 5 Exodus Song and the 6 Firefly Lane. So the team down at the 1200 meter marker now beginning to shut the front gates in preparation for loading the 5 runners. And in approximately 3 minutes time we can get this small but competitive field away. The money at the moment will be on the 1 Winchester with Phyllis sending Corley for Amy Parham, who had a pretty promising first time outing at Borrowdale Park last time out in a maiden 1450. She is a collateral form line with the 2 Zambezi Sunset with Lewin Klapo for Amy Parham, and these 2 look like the ones to duel it out for the first event at Borrowdale Park. The 4 Battle Cat is an unknown in this field. Norbert Tekawira on board for Deborah Swanson. And the 5 Exodus Song and the 6 Firefly Lane will have to improve to have a say this afternoon. So approximately 2 minutes to the off of race 1. We'll leave you in a bit of silence until then. The field of 5 for the maiden plate of a 1200 meters is now loading, and the team down at the 1200 meter mark start working on Exodus Song, who's going to occupy barrier 5 down at the 1200 meter mark. Is partnered up this afternoon with Daryl Daniels for Debra Swanson. Exodus Song halfway in. Just to close the back gate on Exodus Song. And the team has taken hold of Exodus Song down at the 1200 meter mark, and the 4 more runners to load up. Leading up Zimbabwe Sunset. Zimbabwe Sunset's ready. Now the turn of Firefly Lane. Firefly Lane into barrier 3. Battlecat comes up. Battlecat is ready. Leaves us with horse number 1, Winchester, to complete the lineup. Winchester into barrier 1. Winchester set for a start. White flag goes up, and the starter sends them home in the maiden plate of 1200 meters. They broke off in a pretty decent line. Battlecat swung out to the inside, but nothing too serious. Will rejoin the rest of the runners as they make their way now past the 1000 meter marker, and it's Winchester who leads them by half a length. Zimbabwe Sunset is in second. Just after that, then comes on the inside of runners is Firefly Lane, ahead of Battlecat on the extreme inside, and Exodus Song is the tail marker as they come up now to the 600 meter marker in the junction of the two courses, and it's Winchester who leads by a length. In second position then is Firefly Lane, then comes on the inside of that Zimbabwe Sunset. Battlecat is on the extreme inside, and Exodus Song's going to have to pass all to win as they make their way now past the 400 meter marker. Zimbabwe Sunset's taken off. Winchester is in second place, then comes Firefly Lane. Exodus Song in fourth, and Battlecat's out the back door. Winchester rallying back from Zimbabwe Sunset, and Winchester finds the lead again into the final 200 meters. Zimbabwe Sunset is in second, but Winchester is flying away into the final 100 meters, and Winchester is going to defeat them here in the first at Borrowdale Park. Second will go to Zimbabwe Sunset, third went to Exodus Song, and fourth position to Firefly Lane ahead of Battlecat. Number 1 on the card, Winchester with Phyllis Sandem Collie for Amy Parham. Looked the right one on paper, but was running in snatches at around the midway point. And Zimbabwe Sunset looked like he would overhaul Winchester, but in the end, the 3-year-old Buffalo Bill Cody Gelding found a second wind and then literally just took off. And there was no catching Winchester. Phyllis Sandem Collie for Amy Parham, Mr. M.A. Ford, the winning connections. And Winchester will win the first here at Borrowdale Park ahead of Zimbabwe Sunset. Exodus Song rally back late on to get into the minor money, and that's how it will finish in the first. Winchester ahead of Zimbabwe Sunset.
was the first, the running of the first event, the maiden plate over 1200 meters. Well done to you, Mike. Nice way to start off the afternoon.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. His first run was last race meeting when he ran that 1450 and got put to bed by Ultra Pursuit, I think it is. And he just got off the lorry on the Wednesday. So, no, we were expecting a good run from him today. And he did well. I'm chuffed with the Chazawaka boys from Churchill that he came home and Zambezi ran a nice second. So, very pleased with him.
Well done to you. What else have you got planned for the afternoon?
Prince of Denmark next race. And then he should be there and thereabouts. And then I'll have to look at your card. What's the next race? Then I've got She's Everything and Ono Kamachi against Ultra Pursuit. So we'll see if we can shock the public there. Okay. And then September Flower in the Octagon in the 2000. And then in the last race I've got Queen of Fire and My Secret Place.
Pick up the lot.
Winchester.
Well done to you guys. Connections don't want to talk, so those are the winning connections of Winchester, who've come through to win the first event at Borrowdale Park. Numbers up in the frame. Second went to horse number 2, Zimbabwe Sunset. Third went to the 5, Exodus Song. And fourth position went to horse number 6, Firefly Lane. Next up is the Borrowdale D-Stake 68 over 1450 meters. Off time is 13:35.
Race 2 on the program is the Borrowdale D-Stake 68 over 1450. Runners and riders now coming out in parade. First out in parade is horse number 2, Zafar, with Matthew Thackeray. Going down is the 3, Prince of Denmark with Phyllis and Corley. And the 1, Red Top with Daryl Daniels. Zafar turning to go down. 5 is New Galaxy with Louis Hlapo. 4 is Cup of Fire with Jeff's sister. And 6, Forever Royal with Jared Penny. Cup of Fire turning to go down. Forever Royal's next. And those are your runners for race 2. Off time is 13:35. So the second event on the card is the Borrowdale D-Stake 68 over 1450 meters, and we've got 6 runners going down the post, and it looks a pretty competitive affair. Number 1 is Red Top with Daryl Daniels for the Deborah Swanson yard. Now Red Top's been in excellent form in his last few starts, but he goes up in distance this time around 4:10.50, and he carries top weight with 60 this afternoon. It looks to be very competitive, Red Top, and I think he's going to be in the mix come the finish line. 2 is Zafar, Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason. Zafar's been in the outside minor money consistently. Finished 3rd last time out of a 1200. This time goes up in trip to 1450. He's been further than that. And if he can keep his wits about him, he should get place chances again this afternoon. 3 is Prince of Denmark with Phyllis sending Corley for Amy Parham. Very consistent gelding, this Duke of Marmalade gelding at 5 years old. And he's been 1450 a couple of times, and I think if he can keep his mettle, he should be in the minor money again this afternoon. 4 is Cup of Fire, Jeff's sister for Deb Swanson. And Cup of Fire looks like the one to beat this afternoon. It's definitely the bookies' favourite, 28-10. And if Cup of Fire can manage to hold them at bay, should find the finish line this afternoon. 5, New Galaxy, Louis Hlapo for Thomas Mason. New Galaxy's lost his form a bit and has gone a bit wayward in recent times, and has been getting the minor money. She's been getting the minor money, and if she can hold it together this afternoon, she should be in the outside places again. Last but not least is a 6, Forever Royal, Jared Penny for Bridget Steidoff. Also another one that needs to knuckle down this afternoon to be able to impact into the places. My selections, I'm going for the 1, Red Top, to beat the favourite 4, Cup of Fire, from the 3, Prince of Denmark, and the 2, Zafar. Winner upon race time for the Borrowdale D Stakes 68 over 1450, which is the second event on the program. And the 6 runners are now ready to load up. And they bring forward Red Top. Red Top into stallbank number 1. Zafar's up next. Occupy stallbank number 3. Now the turn of Prince of Denmark. Next up is Forever Royal, New Galaxy. And they'll be left with Copper Fire to complete the lineup. Copper Fire steps up and loads right in. Handlers clear, set for a start, and away and racing in the Borrowdale D Stakes 68. 1450 meters is the distance, and a couple were slow away, New Galaxy and Forever Royal. The rest of them got out pretty much an even kill, and Zafar shot to the front and will lead them down the back straight and past the 1200 meter marker. It's Zafar from back in second, Prince of Denmark, who loops round 2 wide out. In third position then is Red Top. Drop back to New Galaxies further back. In behind that Copper Fire and towards the back of the field is Forever Royal as they begin now to make the top of the ascent, and it's still Zafar in front by half a length. In second position on the paint is Red Top. 2 wide out then is Prince of Denmark. Then comes Copper Fire. The last 2, New Galaxy and Forever Royal, have to make good headway from there to make any impact as they hit the home straight now. They've got 600 meters left to race. Out in front is Zafar. From back in second then on the outside of that Prince of Denmark. Then comes in behind runners Forever Royal. Also on the outside of those making headway then is Copper Fire. It's a line of horses across the track into the final 400. Prince of Denmark looking like on the inside of runners then is Red Top, and then on the outside Copper Fire growing wings. These 3 towards the line. Copper Fire in between them, Prince of Denmark on the outside of them, Road Rot, and then to come into the final 100 now, and it's on the outside of runners. I think Copper Fire who just got there. From back in second, Prince of Denmark. It was very close. Well, it got tight in the end between Prince of Denmark and Copper Fire. Prince of Denmark in the white jacket, Copper Fire nearest to us. And as they drew down towards the final few meters, I think maybe Copper Fire had the advantage, but we'll have to watch the slow-mo for that. Prince of Denmark was fighting on the inside of those, and he got desperately close. And as you can see now, on the extreme inside is Red Top, Copper Fire nearest to us, and Prince of Denmark just had the advantage at this stage, but Copper Fire did enough, I think, to find the winner's box, and Copper Fire will beat Prince of Denmark ahead of Red Top. Zafar got 4th ahead of New Galaxy and Forever Royal.
race 2, the Borrowdale D-Stake 68 over 1450, and won by horse number 4, Copper Fire, Jeff's sister, for Deb Swanson. Well done to you, Debbie, for your first of the afternoon. We thought it was right on paper, how it still had to go out there and prove so.
Yeah, I think punters were a little bit concerned there. I expected to run a bit better than that, but she did lose it at the start, so it was very, very gutsy to make it up. In more try and going, we normally run on rock hard, and today we give her a bit of give on the ground, so she did very well. I did think Prince of Denmark was the one to beat. He gave her a good run for her money, so it was lovely to see racing jockeys put to the test like that. But she has got a lot of guts, and she really deserves this win. Shame she's had to run in many races over the wrong trips, and this is a trip she likes, so she's produced a good today. Well done to her, well done to Jeffrey for getting her home just. Well done to the rest of the field for giving her a good run for their money, and of course well done to Centaur, who always give me lovely horses to train, and she's no exception.
Well done to you. What else have you got for the afternoon?
I've got one in every race. I'm going to go read your race card. We'll be very competitive racing today, and with the give on the ground, it's gonna turn results around. So it gives the horses that like a bit of going, a bit of good going, good to soft going, a better chance today. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think racing will be competitive and fun as always.
All the best. Hope to see you later.
Thank you.
That's the winning trainer there, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Well done to you guys.
Thank you. This is actually Centaur Syndicate, but I seem to have got myself pushed forward. Jolly good show from Copperfire, really. She won that. My heart stopped. I didn't think she'd got it, but then I realised that she had. I thought she would win, but you never know in racing, hey? So well done to Debbie, and well done to Jeffrey, and well done to the stable. And also a special mention of Jill Brass. She's broken her leg, and she's back home having been in hospital, and I know she's missing the racing desperately because she always is a big fan and always comes and helps in the stable. So Julie, this is for you.
Well done to you guys.
Thank you.
The winning connections there are for horse number 4, Copper Fire, Centaur Syndicate, and the results are up in the frame. Second went to horse number 3, Prince of Denmark. Third went to horse number 1, Red Top, and fourth went to horse number 2, Zafar. Next up is the graduation plate of a 1600 meters, off time 14:10.
Race 3 on the program is a graduation plate over 1600 meters. Your runners and riders now coming out on parade. First out on parade is horse number 1, African Beat, the mount of Matthew Thackeray. 2 is She's Everything with Felicende Mkoli. 4 is Captain Carnage, Daryl Daniels. 3, Ultra Pursuit, Jeff Sister. African Beat turns to go down, followed by Captain Carnage. She's Everything's up next. Ultra Pursuit. 5 is Oh No No Komachi with Louis Nhlapo. That's the field for race 3. Off time is 14:10. Up next is race 3, which is a graduation plate over 1600 meters. Just the 5 runners going to post. Number 1 is African Beat, the mount of Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason. African Beat had her first start out in Harare last time out of a graduation 1200 and did exceptionally well, finishing second to the fast flying Zimbabwe. And this time goes up in trip to the mile. She has taken the trip before, and if her South African form line is anything to go by, she's going to be very competitive this afternoon. 2 is She's Everything, Felicende Mkoli for Amy Parham. She's been in the places. Last time I didn't do too well in a Pinnacle 1900. Drops down in trip this afternoon, and if she can dig deeper to her previous outings, she should go well into the places this afternoon. 3 Ultra Pursuits, ridden by Jeff Sister for Deb Swanson, has only had one outing, and that was in a maiden 1450. Finished first and beat Winchester, who came on to win this afternoon. So if that form line is anything to go by, Ultra Pursuit could give them a run for their money this afternoon. 4 is Captain Carnage, Daryl Daniels for Deborah Swanson. And Captain Carnage won last time out over 1200 in a maiden 1200. This time goes up and trips, beat Zambezi Sunset on that occasion. And we'll need to dig deep here if he looks to follow up on that encounter. 5 is Oh No No Komachi with Louis Nhlapo, has had 2 runs out at Borrowdale. The first was over 16 and finished third, beaten by the Octagon. And the second was over 19 and was beaten by Magic Exist, finishing third on those 2 occasions. So Oh No No Komachi is going to have to dig deep here to make any sort of impact. My selections, I'm going for the 4 Captain Carnage to beat the 1 African Beat, from the 2 She's Everything, and the 3 Ultra Pursuit. Approximately 2 minutes away to the off of race 3, the graduation plate over 1600 meters. And if you haven't managed to get your bets on, now's the opportune time to do so, because they'll be getting underway shortly. Starter and the team are now starting to load up the 5 runners for the graduation plates over 1600 meters. And the first one to face up is Captain Carnage. And Captain Carnage slides on into barrier 4. African Beat the next one. African Beat is ready. Now the turn of Ultra Pursuits. Oh no, Komachi goes in. Working on Ultra Pursuit. She's everything. She's everything is ready. White flag goes up, and away and racing in the graduation plate over the mile, and they broke off in a pretty decent line. Very quick into stride was African Beat, that was too wide out of a She's Everything that goes up and picks up the running. She's Everything settles into second. Third position belongs to Captain Carnage. And then comes towards the back of the field, Oh no, Komachi. Ultra Pursuit's got a pass all to win as they rattle past the 1200 meter marker. About 6 lengths separates them first to last, and African Beat is not hanging about, establishes a 1.5 length lead from She's Everything in second position. Captain Carnage snuggled into third in the yellow jacket. Fourth belongs to Oh no, Komachi, and the tail marker is Ultra Pursuit as they make their way now past the 1000 meter marker. African Beat continues leading them on by a length. In second position is She's Everything. Dropping into third is Captain Carnage. Fourth belongs to Oh no, Komachi. Ultra Pursuit is the tail marker as they switch right-handed now. They've got 600 meters to go and they come charging down the home straight. African Beat leads them on. In second position then is She's Everything. On the outside of them, Oh no, Komachi. Captain Carnage begins to take flight. Ultra Pursuit, but African Beat into the final 300 from She's Everything. African Beat continues finding She's Everything, rallying on into the final 200. African Beat from She's Everything into the final 50. African Beat won it. Second will go to She's Everything. Third went to Oh no, Komachi. Fourth to Ultra Pursuit. Captain Carnage will get fifth. Number 1 on the card, African Beat, Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason. Well, he didn't really look pretty. She flew into the final 600. Well, she led them from gun to tape, but she really took off once they hit the home straight, and there was no catching the one African Beat. She's Everything, horse number 2, would try, but not enough in the end to catch the eventual winner. African Beat will beat She's Everything in the third in the graduation plate of a 1600.
That was the running of race 3, the graduation plate of a 1600 meters, won by horse number 1, African Beat, Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason. Well done to you, Tom. This race looked very competitive on paper, and your horse really won handsomely.
Yes, she came in very good condition from the Millers. Well done to Mike Miller, Sterling Miller, and the Ray Miller, the family. They phoned me and said they've got a very nice filly for sale. And will you be interested? I spoke to Matthew Thackeray, and he knows the filly. He said, no, it should be good for Zimbabwe. I gave her a run last time out, over 1200, just to get to know her, to get to the bottom of her. She's definitely a distance horse. She's been working well at home, and I thought this was the right race for her. Graduation plate, over a mile. And a big thanks to the owners who got involved in the horse. We've got Follett Smith, Avalon Follett Smith, Stuart Chapman, Colleen de Jong, Ash Dixon also took a share in the horse, David Machingezi. So my mother took a share as well. So it's a nice syndicate of people, and she won a good race, and I think we'll have fun with her.
Well done to you. What does the rest of the afternoon hold for you?
I've got chances, nothing strong coming the rest of the card. I mean, the only aerial display in the next, going 2000 for the first time, question mark. And I'm trying something new in the last with the filly, Ignite the Light. We're going 1200, trying something different, see what happens.
All the best with your runners.
Thank you.
It's the winning trainer there, Thomas Mason, who's brought home African Beat into the winner's enclosure. Second went to horse number 2, She's Everything. Third went to horse number 5, Onono Komachi. And fourth to the 3, Ultra Pursuit. Next up is race 4, and that's the Mary Trader 77 handicap of a 2000.
Race 4 on the program is a merit-rated 77 handicap over 2,000 meters. Runners and riders now coming out in parade. First out in parade is horse number 1, September Flower, with Louis Tlapo. It's followed out by the horse number 2, the Octagon, with Fila Sandemkoli. Currently parading is 3, King's Crown, with Daryl Daniels. 4, Aerial Display, Matthew Thackeray turning to go down. 5 is Kafani with Jeff's sister. 6, Cosmic Event with Jared Penny. Kafani turns to go down. King's Crown. And last to go down will be Cosmic Event. Those will be your runners for race 4, off time 14:45. Race 4 on the program is a merit-rated 77 handicap over 2,000 meters, and we've got 6 runners going to post. In contention for race 4, horse number 1 is September Flower with Louis Tlapo, Amy Parham the trainer, and a September Flower loves the 2,000 meter distance and won last time out bidding Ignite the Light in a contest of 3-year-olds. This time faces an open field, and if she's at best, she should be in with each way chances this afternoon. 2 is the Octagon, Fila Sandenkoli for Amy Parham, and the Octagon has been looking pretty good in his last few outings, finishing first or second, and very consistent has been the Octagon. Goes up in trip to 2,000 meters. It's been 18 before and won that beating Power Ranger. 2,000 this time is gonna take some beating. He's the Octagon. 3 is King's Crown. Daryl Daniels jumps on board for Deborah Swanson, and he's been performing very well. He's got 2 wins, consecutive wins, and looks to make them 3 this afternoon. It's going to be a hard ask for King's Crown facing this sort of opposition, but if he's at best, should have each way chances. 4, Aerial Display, Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason's got place chances on that form line. Hasn't been too convincing of late, so he might run into the minor money this afternoon. So to the 5, Cavani, Jeff's sister for Deb Swanson, is going to have place chances here, outside chances if at best. 6, Cosmic Event, Jerry Penny for Bridget Steidolf. He's also another one who can earn a stake check here and run into the minor money if at best. My selections then, going for the 2, the Octagon, to beat the 1, September Flower from the 3, King's Crown, and the 5, Cavani. Winner up on race time for race 4, the merit-rated 77 handicap over 2,000 meters. Runners now loading up. First to come up is Kafani. Kafani to go into barrier 2. That's followed up by Aerial Display. Loads up into pole position. The Octagon is up next. Octagon is ready. King's Crown. King's Crown goes in. Cosmic Events up next. Taking hold of Cosmic Events. September Flower to complete the lineup. September Flower is ready. Field set for a start. Handlers are clear. Set for a start and away and racing in the merit-rated 77 handicap over 2,000 meters, and they broke off in a pretty decent line. King's Crown was early to charge on, so too was Aerial Display. Very keen to stride too was Cosmic Event, that goes up and settles into third position. Further back then, the Octagon, towards the back of the field, King's Crown, and the tail marker at this stage is Cavani. As they make their way now past the mile marker, it's out in front then. Into the lead is September Flower. From back in second, Aerial Display. Pixley strikes it up. Aerial Display. From back in second, Cosmic Event. The Octagon settles into third position. Further back then to King's Crown. Dropping into the fifth position then was Cavani, and September Flower's going to have to pass all two in as they make their way past the 1200 meter marker. Aerial Display by half a length. Cosmic Event is in second, too wide out. The Octagon on the paint. Dropping into fourth position then is King's Crown. Cavani towards the back. September Flower, the tail marker, as they make their way now to the top of the band. They've got 1,000 meters left to race. They've bunched up in closer order now. About 8 lengths separates them, and Aerial Display leads the charge. From back in second is the Octagon on the paint. Too wide out, Cosmic Event. King's Crown in fourth. Fifth position belongs to Cavani. September Flower begins to move up now as they hit the home straight. 600 left to race. It's on the inside of runners, the Octagon, who quickly picked it up from back in second position, Aerial Display. In behind them is Cavani. On the outside of runners, King's Crown begins to make headway. So too September Flower on the extreme grandstand side. It's the Octagon from September Flower, who's growing wings on the outside of runners. September Flower struck the front. From back in second, the Octagon. In third position belongs to King's Crown, but September Flower has blown them out of the water, and September Flower is gonna win. Second will go to the Octagon ahead of Aerial Display, long-time leader, and fourth position belongs to King's Crown. Number 1 on the card, September Flower, Lewin Tlapo for Amy Parham. Well, he just floated out on the outside of the runners there, and he took off, and they were not going to catch the one, September Flower. The Octagon rallied on into closer order, so too did King's Crown, but the winner is the one, September Flower, Lewin Tlapo for Amy Parham. There we go into the replay. September Flower out in front and looked pretty handsome into the final 50. There was no catching September Flower. Second will go to the Octagon, just hanging on from Aerial Display. Fourth to King's Crown ahead of Cavani.
That was the running of race 4, the MR77 handicap of a 2,000 meters. Well done to you, Mike. We spoke to you earlier and you said the runner in the first was your best.
Yeah, so you see, I'll get you there. So, no, it was quite a competitive race, so it was hard to call between her and the octagon, and they ran 1-2. So she definitely likes more distance, and she's got a nice turn of pace. So she turned for home basically last, and then she turns it on. She did that in the Fillies Classic as well. So I love this little mare. She's got a big heart. For a little filly, she's big striding, eh? So very chuffed with her. It's a Peter Moore horse. So it came from Port Elizabeth. So thanks to Adrian and Pete for letting us lease her. And she's a little cracker, man. So we're really chuffed with her.
Very, very good win. Well done to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was the winning trainer there. Let's talk to Bruce. Well done to you, Bruce. That was an amazing turn of foot, and you must be chuffed.
When you called it stone loss coming around the turn, I thought, well, we're out the window. And she turned, flip, the way she took off and left them standing. So very impressed with her. Well done to Mike and the Brumby Syndicate. It was a great run for us. We were very chuffed with it. And I think the boys are going to celebrate for a couple. Mr. Turk, I don't know where the hell you are, but you should be here for this one. Thanks very much.
Well done to you. Those are the winning connections of horse number 1, September Flower, who's come through to win the 4th. Second went to horse number 2, the Octagon. Third to the 4, Aerial Display. And 4th to the 3, King's Crown. 1, 2, 4, 3, numbers in the frame.
Race 5 on the program is a superior plate over 1260 meters. Runners and riders now coming out in parade. They will be headed out by horse number 1, Tom's Diner. Fila Sunday Mkoli for Gavin McLeod. 2's Power Ranger Norbert Takawira in the club colours blue with red cap. 3's Ultimate Jewel Daryl Daniels. 4 Empire Blue with Jared Penny. And 5's Out of the Darkness with Jeff Sester. Those are your runners for race 5. Off time is 20 past 3. Distance is 1260. We're now upon the penultimate race of the afternoon. That's the Superior Plate over 1260 meters, the 5th event on the program as we step closer to the Sable Flyers, which is the feature event on this afternoon's program. And the runners for race 5 making their way down to the 1260 meter mark. Number 1 is Tom's Diner. Filisende Mkoli for Gavin McLeod. Tom's Diner has been having a purple patch of late and relishes the 1260 distance. Last time out finished 4th, beaten by Jet Mirage over 1200. But before that, he beat Jet Mirage in a Pinnacle 105 over 1260. So he loves the distance, and this time he's gonna be a big runner again this afternoon. 2 is Power Ranger Norbert Takawira in the club colours blue with a red cap. Power Ranger has been involved in a bit of in and out form. Last time out finished 7th, beaten by King's Crown over 1450, and in the penultimate event over 1260 beat Red Top. So you can make anything out of Power Ranger's recent finishes, and if you want to take chances, you might include Power Ranger to bounce back here. 3's Ultimate Jewel Daryl Daniels rides for Deborah Swanson. It's going to be involved in the minor money here. Ultimate Jewel on prior form line. 4 is Empire Blue. Jared Penny for Deborah Swanson. Another one for the outside places. 5 Out of the Darkness, Jeff Sister for Deborah Swanson. First time out in Harare. Out of the Darkness. Form line is pretty moderate in South Africa. He's coming from a monstrous 665 days of rest, so that's a very, very long layoff, and we'll need the run. I'll advise that we watch this one for now. My selections, I'm going for Tom's Diner to beat the 2 Power Ranger from the 3 Ultimate Jewel and the 4 Empire Blue. Winner up on race time for race 5, the Superior Plate over 1260 meters. Runners now loading up. Going in is Empire Blue. Ultimate Jewel goes in. Leading up Tom's Diner. Tom's Diner into barrier 3. Power Ranger lines up. Left with Out of the Darkness to complete the lineup. Out of the Darkness will need to reunite with the jockey first of all, because Jeff's sister is currently behind the stall gates, and Out of the Darkness is proving to be fractious as they lead him back behind. Jeff's sister back on board Out of the Darkness and slides into barrier 2. Set for a start, and Wand racing in the superior plate of a 1260. They broke off in a perfect line. Empire Blue was quick into stride on the inside of runners. So too was Out of the Darkness, who went up and heads the party. Back in third position then on the far side is Power Ranger, dropping in behind that Tom's Diner. And then Ultimate Jewel towards the back door as they make their way now towards the 800 meter marker. It's now Out of the Darkness who leads. From back in second, Tom's Diner. Third belongs to Power Ranger, then drop back to Ultimate Jewel. Empire Blue's going to have to pass all to win. He's a long way behind as they hit the 600 meter marker now. It's on the far side of runners, Out of the Darkness who leads. Tom's Diner is making headway down on the outside of that in second position. Third belongs to Ultimate Jewel. Further back then to Power Ranger. Empire Blue rallying back on into the final 400 meters, but kicking away is Out of the Darkness. Tom's Diner begins to rally back on. Out of the Darkness and Tom's Diner. Out of the Darkness by half a length into the final 200. Tom's Diner keeping on, staying on, but Out of the Darkness continues finding, and Out of the Darkness will break his Borrowdale duck on debut and win. Second will go to Tom's Diner. Third belongs to Ultimate Jewel, and fourth to Empire Blue. For the Borrowdale, first time Out of the Darkness, Jeff's sister from Deborah Swanson's yard from a 665-day rest. Well, he just comes out flying and he wins easily, beating into second Tom's Diner with File Sanding Coley. Out of the Darkness will find his first win at Borrowdale here, fifth career win in total, and from 25 outings he wins easily here to win the fifth here. Tom's Diner will get second, third went to Ultimate Jewel, Empire Blue got fourth, and Power Ranger is last.
we had the running of race 5, the Superior Plate over 1260, and won by horse number 5 out of the darkness. Well done to you, Deborah, and very big win from a horse that's had a long layoff.
Yes, he has, and he has had his problems. I've walked in and done up the finishing touches and looked like the hero, but I'm certainly not. I have to say, well done to his owners, Craig and Forbes. They've been very, very patient with this horse. They've kept him a very long time, and they've done everything right by the horse. And Thomas Mason, who used to look after him, was a big part of that as well. He did nothing wrong by the horse. The horse has had big issues and worries and that coming from South Africa. Star then took him over and did a lot of groundwork, and Sandy took him over and got him working on the tracks again. Sandy's been a huge, huge part of this horse's success, and very, very good accolade to her. And then the grooms who've looked after him at track and kept him happy. Tondi's ridden him. Norbert's been very instrumental in looking after him. And, of course, Blessing and Wayne in Sandy's yard have been great. So it's been a very big effort. And today is a lovely day. I mean, on the weights, it was meant to be a drop kick, but he hasn't raced in 2 years. So it was a big ask. He delivered beautifully. Let's just hope he's confidence, a happy horse, and comes home safe and sound, which he looks to have. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see more from him.
Well done to you.
Thank you. I suppose I've got to say well done to Jeffrey. He did keep the lid on and bring him home nice and safely and in good style. So well done, Jeff. Good boy.
That's a winning trainer there of horse number 5 out of the darkness, who's come through to win race 5. And beating him into second, horse number 1, Tom's Diner. Third went to horse number 3, Ultimate Jewel. And fourth went to the 4, Empire Blue. Next up is the feature event. That's the Sable Flyers. And that's over 1260 meters. And that's off at 15:55.
Now time for the feature event on this afternoon's program, the Sabre Flyers over 1260 meters. Your contenders are coming out in parade, headed up by the one, My Secret Place with Luwin Hlapo. 3 is Queen of Fire with Philesende Mkoli. 4, Ignite the Light with Matthew Thackeray. 6 is Ziwewere with Jeff Sister. And 5 is Jet Green with Jared Penny. That's the field to contest. The Sabre Flyers of time is 15:55. We're almost upon time for the feature event on this afternoon's program. That's the Sabre Flyers over 1260 meters. And we've got 5 runners going to post with the scratching of horse number 2, Hilda Lita. Number 1, My Secret Place, is ridden by Luwin Hlapo for Amy Parham. It's been running a bit in and out over the past few attempts that she's made, but she's been well in the places, finishing 2nd and 3rd for most of the occasions, except for the last time over 1600 in a pinnacle when she finished 5th. So you can expect her to be somewhere in the minor money this afternoon. Scratch the 2, Hilda Lita. The 3, Queen of Fire, is ridden by Philesende Mkoli for Amy Parham. And Queen of Fire has been looking like a crackerjack. Last time ran in a pinnacle 1200, finished 3rd, beaten by Jet Mirage. And previously also ran over 1200, beaten just by 150 by Gera, finishing 2nd. So I think the Queen of Fire is going to have each way chances this afternoon. 4 is Ignite the Light, Matthew Thackeray for Thomas Mason. She's going to have to improve. She's going to have to improve on her past finishes to have a say here, and should draw from her penultimate run when finishing second to September Flower, albeit that was over 2,000. 5 is Jet Green, Jared Penny for Bridget Steidoff, another one who's been running well within the places. And we'll expect another similar run this afternoon. It's coming from a 180-day rest, and this one can also just jump into the winner's box if it best. 5 is Ziwewere with Jeff Sister for Deborah Swanson, unbeaten thus far, has raced twice and finished first on both occasions, and this time is up against stiffer competition, so will have to be at best to win here. My selections, I'm going for horse number 3, Queen of Fire, to beat the 5, Jet Green, from the 6, Ziwewere, and the 4, Ignite the Light. Approximately 2 minutes away from the off of the feature event on this afternoon's program. That's the Sable Flyers over 1260, featuring a contingent of 5 runners with a scratching of horse number 2, Helter Lita. And looks a very competitive field. The 1, My Secret Place with Louis Tlapo, 3, Queen of Fire, and the 5, Jet Green, and the 6, Ziwewere, the 4, Ignite the Light. Taken to the turf to see who cannot sprint who in the Sable Flyers. They have finished closing the front gates, and they've started loading up the field for the Sable Flyers. They've started working on My Secret Place. Ziwewere goes in to barrier 5. Well, not quite. She's backed out. Bringing forward Ziwewere again. And taken hold of Ziwewere down at the 1260 meter marker. Now working on Queen of Fire. Queen of Fire going into barrier 2. And safely installed Queen of Fire. Bringing forward My Secret Place. Alongside Jet Green. Set for a start in the Sable Flyers, and away and racing in the Sable Flyers over 1260 meter marker. The runners all good out an even keel. Very quick into stride was Queen of Fire. That goes up and sets the early pace on the extreme far side. Dropping in behind that is Jet Green, then Ignite the Light. Towards the back of the field is My Secret Place, and also Zimbabwe keeping in touch with the front runners. They make their way now past the 800 meter marker, and it's quick into stride. Queen of Fire who leads the pace. In second position then is Jet Green. Dropping into third position was Zimbabwe, and then comes Ignite the Light. My Secret Place is going to have to pass also in as they pass now the 600 meter marker. It's now out in front. Still Queen of Fire who sets the pace. In second position then, looming large, is Jet Green. Down the center, Zimbabwe looking for racing room. On the extreme far side of runners is making headways. My Secret Place, Ignite the Light goes out the back door into the final 200 meters. Zimbabwe comes up now to, of course, Queen of Fire. Queen of Fire on the extreme outside. Zimbabwe on the inside. And she is motoring. And she's going to blow them out of the water in the Sable Flyers here. Zimbabwe wins. Queen of Fire is second. Third was pretty tight between My Secret Place and Jet Green. And Ignite the Light was last. 6 on the card, with Jeff's sister for Deb Swanson. She's looking like a good thing now. 3 out of 3. And she comes up and absolutely flies home to beat Queen of Fire, who looks like the likely candidate later on. But Zimbabwe has come to steal her thunder and does it in some style. Zimbabwe wins. Queen of Fire gets second. Third will go to Jet Green, just ahead of My Secret Place and Ignite the Lights. That's how it finishes in the feature. Zimbabwe has won the Sabre Flyers.
We had the running of the feature event on this afternoon's program, the Sabre Flyers of a 1260, won by Deborah Swanson. Well done, Deb. You've had a nice day, and your horse is proving something special.
Thank you. Yeah, very, very pleased with her. I had no right to throw into this race on paper, but we did it. And what a lovely run she produced. So very, very pleased with her. Zoom, zoom. She's as I said to you last week, she's turning out to be something smart, and she just takes her races in her steps so easily. She's a pleasure to work with. Well done to T1, her groom. He's very proud of her. Well done to Lady T and Oliver. Very, very chuffed for them. And I got to say thank you to James Armitage. I remember when she didn't get a bid in the sale, and I walked up to him and I said, "I like that filly. What's wrong with her?" He said, "Nothing." So he said, "Take her." I said, "I will, thank you." So well done to James Armitage. You bred her and brought her to the sale, and she's just been an absolute pleasure to have in the yard ever since.
Well done to you.
Well done, Jeffrey, again. Thank you very much. And I have to say thank you to Calvin Lauren, who's here to watch the horses there. He's a huge part of our team, and he looks after them and gives me the confidence to run horses. So well done to Carl. He's put a lot of work into the yard over the years, and he's a gem.
Well done to you guys. Please stand by for the presentation. Who's coming out of there to have a chat? Very well done to you guys again. Your horse looks something special, and she's proving to be very good.
Yes, it looks like she is quite the winner. 3 runs and 3 wins in a row. She really is running away, as her name says.
Well done to you guys. You are the winners of the 2025 Sabre Flyers. Please go over there and receive the presentation of the trophy. And the winners of the Sabre Flyers is Zimbabwe with Jeff's sister for Deborah Swanson.